here's the million-dollar question, folks. Will Adrian ever shut the hell up? Now, we may never know the answer to that question, but if that day comes, it's certainly not today. Let's get to it.
Don't play with me, ho. Go play in some traffic. Don't play with me, ho. This shit gon' get graphic. They say that I'm the blueprint, yeah, they call.
Alright, so let's get the housekeeping stuff out the way. Make sure you go to patreon.com/AdrianExpression. I want to do live stream on there on Sunday, probably. If you know, either Saturday or Sunday. It's looking like Sunday based off my schedule. So yeah, check that out. I already put the podcast episode up. Also, you will want to check out Avatar Adrian this weekend because, first of all, I already saw the Thor movie, so I'm reacting to the Thor movie on that channel. And The Boys finale, I'm doing a review over there, so youtube.com/Avatar Adrian, check it out. Now, since I've been running my mouth so much about Viola Davis and this new movie that she's going to be starring in, The Woman King, I had to, of course, bring up the fact that this week, The Woman King trailer came out. Viola Davis stars in The Woman King, the remarkable story of the Agoji, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, the all-female unit of warriors who protected the African kingdom of Dahomey in the 1800s with skills and a fierceness unlike anything the world has seen, only in theaters September 16th. And you know what? Actually, I did a little tiny bit of research on like their all-female regiment. And what I say, this unusual emergence of an all-female military regiment was the result of Dahomey's male population facing high casualties in frequent warfare with neighboring African states, as well as Dahomey being forced to annually give male slaves to the Oyo Empire. The lack of men likely led the kings of Dahomey to recruit women in the army. But yeah, I just wonder how Hollywood this movie is gonna be because there's so many moving parts, like when you consider Dahomey and all this shit that was going on back then. From the little research that I did, from the role they played in the slave trade to the French and the British and all that shit, like it's just so many moving parts. Like I said, I wonder how Hollywood is gonna be versus like true to history, you know? I mean, like I said, they look good. I can't wait to see Viola Davis do her thing. These accents though, I felt the same way about Black Panther. I'm like, these accents, girl. I'm sure language looks different, obviously it did back then to now, but still, I was like, these accents, and in this screenshot, I was like, what's going on here? But anyway, it definitely has piqued my curiosity. But I do expect it to be very Hollywood, you know? So this video of Ezra Miller went viral, and I did not realize that it was an old video until someone, you know, pointed it out, but it went viral this week, okay? Just watch it.
That's an option I present people, always.
Hi.
And always just knock you out, and then you won't have to panic.
Right, you just gotta knock
You just
people
let me
out.
know.
Yeah.
No? Yes?
What?
Now, Ezra's scary. I don't care what y'all talking about, Ezra is absolutely scary. First of all, this person just walked up to your ass and you're just, I don't know, I think in the comments, the person recording the video was like, I think if I remember correctly, they were like, I had told Ezra that I was kind of nervous, you know, to meet them, or just nervous, I can't remember specifically, but something like that, like nervous to meet them. And that's when Ezra came back with, well, you know, in order to not feel like you're nervous or whatever, in order to avoid those feelings, I could knock you out. And I was just like, how did it escalate that quickly? That's why I seen somebody on Twitter say that Ezra was out there harassing the residents of Hawaii like they were Stitch. Like Ezra was Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. I was like, yo. Can you imagine? First of all, I don't know. Like I said, it makes a lot of sense that this video is old. It happened in like 2020 or whatever, because given the news that's happening around Ezra, I would not be walking up to their ass. That's just it. I would not be walking up. I would be like, all right. Yeah. I'm good. I was like, you know what? You got it. I don't want no problems. The way Ezra even sounded like they was really ready to do that shit, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm good. I promise you. I'm fine. And speaking of Ezra, did you see like all these people on social media talking about how they want Ezra to be replaced by Elliot? And it's just like, Replace the chaotic evil Alphabet Mafia member with the chaotic good Alphabet Mafia member. I would love it. And speaking of Elliot real quick, I don't know why we were having this. A lot of people on social media were having this. Who started it? Probably some weirdo conservative somewhere in some corner of the internet somewhere. So I don't know why we're having this big conversation about Elliot Page's name. Oh my gosh, we can't say his own name. We can't say his own name. We should be allowed to say it. We should be allowed. Why are we being forced to act like these decades of this person's life didn't happen before that? It's just like, what? You want to know something very simple? It's really simple. Elliot Page said he wanted to be called Elliot Page. So that's what the fuck we gonna call Elliot Page. We call him Elliot Page, okay? It's really that simple. I don't get what's the big, your own weirdo feelings of entitlement. You think that shit trumps what Elliot wants to be called? Shut the hell up. That's all I want to say. I don't get what the big deal is, and they be losing their minds over a name change? Over a name change? Y'all will be okay. Y'all will be okay. This is an old video, but I just saw it since we talk about old videos. I just saw this, okay? So if you're wondering how our fight against climate change is going, here is Kamala's explanation on what we about to do.
That is especially true when it comes to the climate crisis, which is why we will work together and continue to work together to address these issues, to tackle these challenges, and to work together as we continue to work operating from the new norms, rules, and agreements that we will convene to work together on to galvanize global action. With that, I thank you all. This is a matter of urgent priority for all of us, and I know we will work on this together.
Now, like I said, this came out, this old video, but I just saw it. I don't know if it went viral and just recently, and that's why I just saw it, but I just saw this video, man. I'm telling you. So apparently this was at the ASEAN summit. It looks like the way I was about to pronounce it, but I don't know. Let me see. It was at this summit. It is a biannual meeting held by the members of the Association of Southeast Asian nations in relation to economic, political, security, and sociocultural development of Southeast Asian countries. So she was speaking there in May, and that's what she said. We got to work together to work together in order for us to work together and work together while we're working together so that we can what? Work together, bitch. Get the fuck out of my bitch. We're gonna be cooking on this planet, bitch. Like right there, that soundbite is a perfect example of the way that not even just this administration is dealing with climate change, but like with the way that the country in general, like with the way that government in general is dealing with climate change, pandemic, everything, inflation, everything. That right there sums up the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, it sums it up. They don't know, they just dizzy. If it ain't about coin, they don't know, or their own political career and power, they don't know what you talking about. They don't know what they talking about. They say we gonna work together. I don't know what that means, but we gonna work it. So Adele was performing recently, and here I don't want to play the music because, or the sound, because I don't know what will get copywritten, you know, and what won't. But here she was asking, like, does anybody know? Because she was going to perform "Water Under the Bridge," right? So she was just like, if anybody knows the Megan Thee Stallion dance, like, would you do it with me? That's what she was asking during this time, and she ended up going there. And I don't know, obviously, if you've been on the internet, you've seen that mashup of "Water Under the Bridge" and "Body." You've just seen it. You've seen it. So this was confirmation that Adele has seen it too, and she was damn near doing the entire dance on stage. And I'm like, yo, we need a full, you gotta bring Megan out, or vice versa, or something. And I want Adele to do the dance in full. Like, first of all, she seemed like she was doing that shit off the top of her head, so it seemed like she got it. So I want her to do it all out. Right now, I don't know how we can make this happen. And Megan Thee Stallion actually saw it. Like, she posted her on her story and said, "Hot girl Adele," or some shit like that. I was like, yo, we need to make it happen. We need to get these two on stage. It would be the most hilarious thing ever. Boris Johnson said he resigned, girl. Boris Johnson said that he was resigning. This is coming from CNBC. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson resigned on Thursday after more than 50 members of Parliament resigned from his government within 48 hours. The girl said, toodles, 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 one after the other. It was like a conveyor belt. Speaking outside Downing Street, Johnson said that it is clearly now the will of the Parliamentary Conservative Party that there should be a new leader of that party and so a new prime minister. And it's just like, yeah. It's pretty clear they don't want to. Yeah, it's pretty clear. He said he will remain in place until a new leader is selected by the Conservative Party. The unprecedented revolt against the leader from within his own party began with the resignation of 2 top ministers on Tuesday night and gathered pace with a torrent of departures on Wednesday. More ministers quit early Thursday morning, including Northern Ireland Secretary Brandon Lewis, Treasury Minister Helen Whatley, and Security Minister Damian Hinds. The tally put the total number of departures at 59 as of 10 a.m. London time. This is the result of a lot of stuff, a lot of scandals. People don't trust this ass. It's just, it's a lot. I find it interesting that some of the same dynamic is happening in the UK as it is in the US, because I'm like, all these people coming out against Trump who are working with him, working under him in his same party. Like, it's the same thing happening over there. Like, all of them now revolting against Boris Johnson. It's like, y'all knew who Trump was when y'all signed up to work for him, signed up to campaign for him, and y'all knew who Boris Johnson was. Y'all knew who he was. So it's just like, it's running. I find it interesting how that is paralleling. Of course, Brexit is not the only reason, but it's definitely one of them. This is coming from The Atlantic. They said that Brexit was based on a series of lies. The electorate was promised that departure from the EU would lead not only to fewer immigrants, and you know they like that, fewer immigrants, but to greater prosperity, more welfare spending, less crowded hospitals. And instead, 6 years after the vote, Britain is less prosperous and more unequal. It had lower GDP. We're talking about high inflation rate. We're talking about small businesses have been crushed by Brexit-related red tape and supply chain problems, all kinds of shit. And this last line right here, and we'll end it, but I thought it was funny. Though committees have been set up to look for, quote, benefits from Brexit, few are available. Yeah. Now, Boris Johnson, it does seem like your access to your own Conservative Party won't be available either, but hopefully your access to a hairdresser will be. On that note, thank you so much for watching. I love y'all so much. Do not forget to check out my description box and make sure that you have a good goddamn evening.
I'm a real bitch, these hoes knock offs. You want my dick, so bitch hop off. Cause they gon' call me firecracker when I pop off. They guard is what I'm having, all these bitches caught off.